Hey everyone, it's Norm here at Silicon 2022, and this is Gabby and Carson, or should I say Duchess of a Dozen Eyes, and her Duke.
Yes.
These are amazing costumes. Apologies, they're eye-catching. They're
Yes.
so eye-catching. I mean, you guys walked by the tested booth and we go, look, said, they're so fleshy, is what he said. Tell me about the design of these and the fabrication of these beautiful costumes.
Yes, I've gotten more into historical costuming, and I wanted to make something that was gorgeous to look at from afar, and then you get close to it and you're like, oh God, I hate it.
I think you succeeded.
Yes.
And not just that, like, obviously we love it as we get closer, but details are like more and more details. The longer you look, the more I'm noticing. These are Renaissance inspired, is that right?
Yes.
In terms of the period? Is that a style that you've worked in before, or is that?
No, I'm just trying to dabble in a bunch of different pieces. Like I'm currently working on a Victorian lady Freddy Krueger.
Nice.
Yes.
Interesting. Great mashup.
Thank you.
So in the making of these, there's headdress pieces, hats, there's capes. Was the idea to kind of use those pieces and kind of identify what about that can I then embed teeth and eyes, and what was the approach?
I was mostly looking at it from aspects of what should be flesh and what should be muscle tissue. So I knew that whatever was flesh, I would want to have like teeth in it and holes in it, because I didn't want anything that was considered pretty, like no beads, no ribbon, except for his. His has ribbons on it. But his isn't as grotesque as mine is with all the faces. But yeah, so that's why I added a bunch of teeth to the flesh bits, because I also wanted it to look like, or at least with these pieces here, that it looks like this, like the skin has been left on top of it, and what you see underneath is the muscle tissue. Hence why I also, with my skirt, the underskirt is a muscle tissue and the over is a skin.
And when you're thinking about the difference between the muscle and flesh, it's not just the color. There's textural differences.
Yes.
Is there sculpted bits as in addition to a fabric?
Yes. So all of these pieces with the eyes and the faces and the mouth with a bunch of teeth, those are all, I had to make a clay sculpt, make a plaster Paris mold from it, and then make a latex piece from it.
Oh.
So those are all pieces that I then glued onto a spandex fabric, and then to kind of meld it more with the fabric, I added some paint mixed with latex, because if you just put paint onto a spandex, it would just peel right off.
Right. And then piecing it together, the thread, which these are very exposed sutures, are they functional or aesthetic or combination?
It's aesthetic.
Okay. It's very convincing, and it has. I love that they're not perfectly trimmed, so it has that look of it was done either quickly or you want to reveal it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. The teeth. Let's talk about the teeth.
Yes.
A wide range of mix it human and animal teeth.
Yes, because I wanted to go for something more like, kind of like the thing, how it has an amalgamation of different pieces to it. So I want it to be like an ethereal thing of not just one, but of many.
But still ornate in its way.
Yes.
Right. Especially like your headdress right here. It's almost a hierarchy of teeth, and then the eyes and the eyelashes. I'm like noticing that now.
Yeah.
It really is. Oh, wow. Talk to me about the embedding of the eyes and the sculpting around the eyes, because it's different sizes and shapes.
Yeah. So for his headband, what I did was, this headband is all latex, and so I did my clay sculpt, did my latex piece, and then when I made that piece, I also had like a little clay ball to represent the eyeball that would be put into it. So when the latex piece was done, I'd cut that eye out, and then I would paint that latex piece, including painting like along the water line, where it would be resting against the eyes. And then behind that is another layer of fabric, which is where I then like super glued the eyes to it. So that way they aren't attached to the latex, therefore they're more flexible. And like if we move the hat, then they won't always be in the same spot, so they can kind of shift from side to side if kind of needed.
A little bit more of an organic look.
Yes.
And even details I noticed, like in the edges of the eyes, there's an extra piece of material that just makes it look more fleshy.
Yes.
Right? That's the best way, I think, to describe it. Fleshy, but also, there's a mixture of like ribbons. It looks, the silhouette is just very like recognizable. as Renaissance scarves.
Yeah, and I want to do my best to like avoid ribbons, which is why all the white you see is actually gauze.
Oh, clever. Of course. Wow. And the different materials, it reads differently. Like there's parts that look shiny, right? Like almost like wet or softer tissue. Was that all part of the design to have the different looks of all the different materials?
Yeah, no, I was especially happy to find this kind of a material for the muscle tissue because it originally had that crinkly texture that I felt would really play into when I colored all the fabric. Because all the fabric for the muscle tissue, I hand painted everything.
Wow. How was the fitting process?
I mean, I measured him, I sewed it up, and I had him try it on, and I only had to do like one fitting for him. And it was fine.
Comfortable walking around the show?
Yes.
Yeah? What have been some of the best reactions that people have seen? Is it exactly how you had hoped?
Yes, because I definitely wanted something that people would think was really cool and be kind of confused with their reactions with it. Like, I don't know if I should love this or hate this because this is so gross. But we've definitely gotten a lot of those reactions, which I've definitely really enjoyed. And I love when people are like, I have no idea who you are or what that is, but I love it.
And I can't stop looking. And again, the more I look, the more details I'm noticing. Even like just like that, like these little open rib cage pieces. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations on a very successful costume.
Thank you.
And you said the next one, hopefully a hybrid, like a Freddy Krueger as well. Oh, very, very cool. Gabby Carson, very nice to meet you. Okay, everyone, it's now Sunday at Silicon. I'm back here at the Tested booth, and Kristen from our team actually spotted this costume, and it turns out it's Gabby. Gabby, from yesterday, from the me costume. Now you're an Elizabethan alien Xenomorph Queen. Oh my goodness. Tell me about this costume.
I've done a regular Xenomorph before, and I wanted to go a bit bigger, and so I chose the Queen. And I thought it would be a cool mashup to do her as an actual, like, Elizabethan Queen.
Absolutely. So was it the dress and gown that was the foundation, or was it the head sculpt that anchored the whole thing?
I started with the head sculpt because I knew, like, it has to be right. Because it's so iconic that if I couldn't get the head to work, then there was no point in doing the rest of it. So I felt it wouldn't be as recognizable. Then after the head was done, then that's when I got to work on the dress, and I try to incorporate elements from the Xenomorph Queen of making sure I use a black satin because her coloring is like very dark, very shiny. It's like a shell. I have ribbons and with little bows down the center to kind of mimic spines.
Oh, yes. Wow.
And then I have little shoulder poofs to kind of mimic the arches on the shoulders of the Xenomorphs as well.
Oh, it's so layered. Even the dresses and the gowns of the era have so much structure, but the headpiece has structure as well. It looks so well balanced. How heavy is it?
It's only like maybe 6 pounds. It's all paper mache.
Really? Oh, paper mache. I see. It kind of telescopes out in the back, and just I was thinking the necklaces you have, as well as same with the meat dress. The different reflectivities and textures really help this, especially since it's mostly black and white. Wow. And then these arms here, are they just kind of dangling in front, or are they puppeted?
No, they're just dangling in front.
Oh, man. I love the kind of the resting pose they have. And you have a little bit of secondary animation even as you're walking around. Wow. How do you feel about this costume? Do you feel like you achieved what you wanted to do with it?
Definitely.
Oh, it is so striking. The arms here, okay. The extra like patterns, was that part of the fabric material, or is that something you added on top?
The black patterning on there what came with the material, but I wanted to emphasize it with all the beading. All the beading is hand done.
And it has a little bit of off black too.
Yes.
Has a purple to it. The subtlety and the differences in the color provides just a nice contrast. Oh, Gabby, wow, 2 amazing costumes. You didn't realize it was you.
Yes.
But one of the most striking costumes we've seen. Congratulations. No Duke this time.
Yeah.
Considering a Xenomorph Duke?
I actually have like all the fabric and everything, but he's going to be my Xenomorph Bard.
Oh, Okay, perfect. I love the storytelling that you create with your costumes. And
Thank
again,
you.
you're going to do the Freddy Krueger mashup in the future, right?
Yes.
That's your next one. Gabby, have fun at the convention.
Okay, thanks, you too.
Stunning costume.